highs to get taken out. These are previous day highs. There's a lot of stacked highs here. There's a 15-minute on ES, but NQ doesn't. The 15-minute got tagged, so uh, NQ doesn't have that. So I'm still gonna be just waiting here. If it goes lower, I won't take anything because I'm looking for longs. Those shorts looks really good. Those just unsold hourly. Even those are hourly premium low, also unsold hourly. But I'm leading bullish unless this 15-minute inversion is being respected. But this equal highs just look so good to not take out first before going lower. However, since it is an Asia high, we might leave it for London's and take out Asia low. Just like Asia low is this low, we might want to go take Asia low, London, then manipulate lower, create a London low, then London would take this high. That's also an ideal case. The way you can see here, this is my actual trade rate account on Tradify. You can see that. So seems like this long won't happen. I was thinking about this long, but right now it's getting pretty invalidated. I won't validate any shorts though. But if this whole level gets respected, I would love to take longs because I have strong conviction with this relatively equal highs. You look at hourly, it's also my high from yesterday. After the highs are here. And it's really strong draws and liquidity. It's a lot of buy here that was left out. So I'm being bullish. However, I would love to see maybe take this high, then go lower for London session or London session. I mean, Asia session, we just accumulate. Just say we just bang here, then London session suddenly goes lower and goes higher. And we're going to look for continuations for New York session because this low has to be rebalanced before we take all of this highs, which are previously highs. I'm pretty bullish today, by the way. So for previously highs right there, and yeah, I don't think I'm going to be having a long setup right now, like what I was anticipating. I was definitely looking for longs. I would validate longs if, we invert this 5-minute gap to the upside. But that's pretty much it, guys. Is like just a little analysis for today or low key my outlook on the day. But with how price is moving after rejecting from this 5-minute, there's a chance for us if we continue this bearish order flow. I would love us to see Asia session low key just accumulate like this kind of, generating LRs, take the high, then almost take out that high, then keep going lower until London actually takes these lows. Hey, the London low, taking out this Asia low on London session. The London session would start being pretty bullish, and New York session we have this continuation towards these highs, or even towards those highs right there. So that's what I'm anticipating to happen here. It's only an 80-point move, so it's really possible for that to happen. So with this 5-minute looking like, it doesn't look like it's gonna flip bullish. So not really gonna care right now. For those Asian traders right there, I mean like Asia session traders, were there any valid setups? There was, but you would get stopped out of break even anyway. Because after taking this and full hourly, it would have probably entered here. You go, probably went to break even on this 2-minute gap, probably went break even at this high. So just stayed on drawdown for a bit, went break even at the high, probably targeting this at least this equal highs, right? And then it just comes to your entry, went higher, and stops you out of break even. Would you get a re-entry? It's really up to you if you're pretty convicted. 3-minute barely, but let's say you're pretty convicted. To take this short, I mean this longs, and yeah, it would happen. Would work, what the two are. Depends when do you go break even. If you win a break even, you get stopped out as well. So yeah, it's really that. We're rebalancing right now. So I'm gonna be updating you all later. But my trade idea right now, particularly, is an inversion of this 5-minute gap. But if we have continuation shorts, then it's a lot more valid target lower towards like this 15-minute low. It's like a 5-minute-ish intermediate low. But I would love longs. Let's see if we can have this 5-minute inverse. But that's gonna be all for today, guys. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be trading later. So this is gonna be my outlook for today. I'm leading bullish. What I want to see, if ever, is manipulate lower. And London session would take this hourly lows, respect it, and go higher from there. Actually, this is what London session. This is what our until the hourly at. What I wanted to see, like each session low key accumulates, London would manipulate, and New York would deliver towards its equal highs up to the previous day highs. So, well, peace out, guys. See if NQ would also inverse this gap. Uh, Doesn't seem like, guys, doesn't seem like NQ wants us to take any of these longs, but I'll just leave this here. It's going to be just forward test. Obviously, not going to be this type of a stop, if ever. This type of stops are meant for, if we actually have a 5 minute inverse, I'm willing to take this type of a stop, or at most, I mean, at least here. But if we had an inverse, I doubt we're actually going to go lower up to this point. But, just for assurance, I'll put my stops here. But we didn't really get that inverse, so it just means process really want us to go higher. And I would definitely take that trade if that happens because it is a really low risk trade. I'm just aiming for 2% days. And 2% days would happen with this with a really, really low risk. So pretty much that. 1 minute strong rejects. Wow. Um, there's also a 3 minute inversion. Did we have a 2 minute? 2 minute also inversed. But I want like a 30 minute, some sort of curve too. Market orders. I'm just so strong conviction with this. Really, really strong conviction. This 3 minute IVG was holding. This one is a 5 minute IVG, which is currently like a 5 minute BPR. And it's waiting for like a continuation long. And for continuations, so IVG is looking holding. It's gonna have like a break to the upside. Respect like the equilibrium of this 1 minute wick. Yeah, at that point, I don't want us to go lower than just go higher at that point. Really clean longs if that's the case. Pretty clean long. And we don't go below 25083.15, which is just keep on this low and just flush through that. If that doesn't happen, this trade won't work at all. Actually, the 5 minutes inverse failed to hold. Inverse if it did, bro, I would have been in this trade already. Pretty convicted, like really obvious bullish order flow. Now everyone on your mentors would believe this. That it is an extremely bullish order flow. Extremely bullish order flow. It's just really the timing, and really just wait for the price to present a clearer setup. That right now there's none. That's why I'm not taking anything. Right? The price gave us a really nice setup. I would have taken it already, but it's pretty cool in that we're not. So yeah, I'll just leave this again, and yeah, it's gonna be all for today, guys. Peace out. Expecting bullish order flow. As this 5 minute BPR is holding so strong, and we had a 5 minute SMT here from all of this lows. So if we're gonna drop down to 1 minute, we're not really gonna have any entry, right? However, if you scale to 2 minute, which I have here in TradeVet, there's an entry here, which is along on 25084, which was this high. Would have taken this long. Even just this high would do it, honestly. But I would target this high and only risk like 1 mini. I mean, 2 minis right here to hit this. And right now, if I was in this trade, I would have been be on break even a long time ago. But really unfortunate, I wasn't watching the markets as the time this happened. But yeah, as I mentioned, house pretty bullish in the day. On the on anticipated time for us to look for longs, I didn't have it. That's why I was like, okay, I'm not really gonna look and wait for it. But if you did pay a little bit more time, you would have taken this for here. There wasn't a 3 minute inversion. There wasn't even a 1 minute here. Like this 1 minute is nonsense. What only matters is 2 minute right here because there's no higher time frame 2 minute. So if you take a 2 minute, it's like 2.84. So it was like this high, which also was like a 30-second version. Really nice trade if anyone caught this. And yeah, probably not trading today, but I'll be updating y'all. It's more likely going to be just like a little trade recap, but actually record like this. But because again, every Fridays I don't, I'm not really capable to edit my videos because I'm not bringing this, actual device home. So it's gonna be that really clean setup, honestly. It's what I anticipated. I wasn't patient enough to wait for an entry, and I just see every take profit here to hit this buy sell liquidity, which was also my target of equal highs higher. But I did it like a more short high, but it's really like so bullish, which currently we are because this 5 minute finally inverse that we had here. So yeah, at this point I don't really have anything to do apart from just like looking at the charts because I didn't have really an entry. Successful, bullish order flow. The read was there, really accurate read, perfect 2 minute inversion. If you're able to caught this, and your stop was actually would just be on a 25078.22, which is 25078. Or not 25078. Yeah, hit it this high. I mean, at this low end. You would be chill. Like, bro, you risk 7 points, bro. Risk 7 points. I'm only capable to do this because I can only, there's a consistency rule on this eval. So I can't really go for this type of trades. But as soon as I get funded, guys, I will start taking this type of trades, IRR trades, because I can't do it on my actual eval as it has consistency rules. But yeah, if ever I'm actually was in this trade, I would definitely just risk two minis. Because my TP would just be at this high, or probably like $1,000 TP like this high right here. If I was in this trade, this would be my actual trade, like a 25 point take profit. As there's like a even I'll probably just go at this high. So yeah, I wasn't able to pot those longs, but yeah, pretty unfortunate on that one. A really really accurate read on the day. I just wasn't paying attention on the charts and looking for actual setups. Well, that's gonna be it for the day, guys. I'm probably not taking a trade tonight, but if I do, it's gonna be it's in a form of a trade recap instead of like live trades like this. So it's gonna be all for today's video. And yeah, this is really a reminder for y'all guys. Just be patient, patient on the charts, because you'll be able to, take these setups really A plus in my eyes. And like really nice long here. Really, really tight stop. If you took this trade, I would be on break even as soon as we take this internal high, which is all of this high as we fired at 3 minute. Then basically as soon as this high was taken out, was it that high? No, I would go break even when we take this high right here, which is like 1 to 2 are already. Now 1 is 1.5. So when that high gets taken out, I'm on break even. And yeah, I'll be targeting this key high right here. But if you have the ability, guys, to actually just risk even more, I would risk even more here. Maybe not target as high, maybe just this high, but go for much, much, much bigger orders. Let's say like 5 minis. If I'm unfunded, bro, I'm honestly gonna be doing more like this, higher, higher risk, but on really A plus setups. Because if this hits, I'm already done on the week. I'm just gonna like stack my wins, like 5 winning days, and it's gonna be that really nice trade, really clean trade in my opinion. And I've explained this, so I don't really have to explain it even more. I called it everything that happened here. So it's gonna be all for today, guys. If you like this video, peace out. We edged our TP. There might be a chance it was an SMT at the high. Yeah, there was already an SMT at those highs. So if I was on this trade, I would have took my contract off around 11:42. Oh, actually 11:42 so far. Ooh, probably didn't. Yeah, I'll probably just let that trade be as I look at it. But when I go this close, bro, I would probably just put that out if I was watching it. But if the trade takes this long, I'm probably not watching it at all. But yeah, this trade right here, banged. Uh, yeah, I just wasn't able to have an entry. But if I had an entry, as I mentioned, I would have done this. So inversion, stop loss just on this over low. And right now, I'm gonna actually clean the charts because it's London session. I want us to manipulate somewhere. What is that? I'm actually just gonna check this right now. Yeah, there's so much accumulation. I want us to manipulate. It could be on this 5 minute intermediate low. Could be this internal range liquidity. I want to sweep up this low, then go higher. Actually, we had an SMT in those lows. And this low was an 11:15 low. Yeah, so currently this low has an SMT. I want to start like a strong displacement higher, taking all of these highs like this, then like leaving a strong protected high, which will be draws for New York AM later. So, but currently on how the volatility is, London isn't being London, because usually London is a lot more volatile compared to Asia, but it really depends on the regime. But with the S&P on this lows, I want us to manipulate somewhere, maybe take this low even. Because any of the gap is so low that I don't think that will happen anytime soon. I want like an actual manipulation lower to go higher. That's how I look at this market. Because there's so much LR, bro. With all of this LR, with all of this lower resistance liquidity, I just know we're gonna take this out. It's just a matter of time and entry. So pretty much that. Really clean trade on what I've mentioned. I think it was that long. The long was I think this long right here. Yeah, stop was here. There was a 5 minute DPR here, and then we tapped on the 5 minute DPR. Failed to inverse the 5 minutes, so I waited for another manipulation. Had an S&P in this lows, and then targeted all of this highs. Particularly, I said this is my final take profit because it doesn't equal high. So pretty much this high right here was like a 5.7 or R trade. But yeah, it's just like a few points higher. But honestly, I won't even watch this. As long as I go and break even at this high, I won't even care about it. So that's that. Here right now, I'm just waiting for a manipulation, something like this, a strong displacement higher than take all of this lower just liquidity. Or if we manipulate first, I would want us to take all of the sell side liquidity, maybe done sold hourly right here. So it's pretty much it for the day. Not gonna have any more updates. So yeah, really nice trade there. I just wasn't able to have an entry as I wasn't looking for it. I mean, I wasn't looking anymore because if you remember, I was looking here, particularly around this area. I waited for like a 3 minute manipulation, then a 5 minute open up. 5 minute open up here had a pretty decent displacement. However, the 5 minute inversion failed to inverse because at that time I think the inversion should be somewhere around here. And then it closed. We don't have to check. It just closed under the 5 minute, which is this one right here. I thought we were about to invert it, but if you can see this bullet channel, to inverse this one right here. Even if this technically inverse, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, that's like technically inverse, but I won't still do that because with that type of price action, you're less likely to have an actual fluctuation. But here we had an SMT because MQ failed to take that low while ES did. Or was that trade? I think it was, yeah, this trade. I mean, ES failed to take that low, LMQ did. 2 minute inversion because the high snap on the leg because we don't have any 3 minute on the leg. You can see 1 minute not. Where are we going break even here? It's a high and I just want to be risk free at that point. Why? Because if you close above that, it's like technically like a market structure shift or break a structure if you want TGR. And what I want, is this gap to hold if ever. It's a 5 minute close there. And it's also going to be a 5 minute intermediate high. Much better break even point would be that. But it, just on that concept, I just know I should be risk free. Also, by that time, bro, I am rarely up over 1.5 hours. So I'm going to be risk free at that point because it's going to be a psychological stress if ever I would let that go lower. So that's that. This is what I'm waiting right now. If we can actually get this, I'm willing to take longs on this London session. Targeted buy sell liquidity, which I believe is a Asia high. No, Asia high were swept already. So if that's the case, we might leave this for New York EM and actually wait for continuation lock. But we'll see, guys. But it's gonna be all for this video. Hope you learned a lot from this video and enjoyed it a lot because you can see my thought process, guys. Because in my live trades, I wasn't, not really able to explain it as much as I could. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Peace out. That because we might literally jack. 3 minute did inverse, but 5 minutes failed, which is the highest time frame on the leg. And then there wasn't even 2 minute here. So literally, technically respected the IFVG of the 3 minute. And after that, we just literally inverse this gap, then inverse this gap again with a really strong displacement. I didn't pull the trigger because I was like, bro, why am I gonna pull a trigger if the 5 minute failed to inverse and then there's just a 5 minute continuation? I mean, really clear LR, like I've mentioned here, it's a freaking LRL here. And that's what literally the reasoning why I didn't pull the trigger. And yeah, if I did this, I would probably go here like extremely low risk, really high RR, since this is just not the session I usually trade. I just want to go low risk, kind of like forward testing, but reaping rewards as well. But if this is like a New York session, I saw this, I really have high conviction. I would and then like let's say this is already funded stage. I would risk as much as this account allows. So and as far as I know, maximum is 4 minis. So 40 micros. And I'll take this 40 micros for that. For our really tight risk. And yeah, let's see if we're gonna be winning here in this trade as well. There's gonna be that break. If I'll be here, I'll already been on break even because as long as we take some sort of internal high, particularly this one because this one is a 5 minute turn high. This is a point where I would definitely go break even. But honestly, as soon as this high gets taken out, I'm ready to break even. So yeah, let's see if this plays out. And that's pretty much that, guys. I'll be updating you probably like an hour, 2 hours from now, what happens on this trade. And yeah, it's just like what happened on this long. I just really didn't like any, the displacement that came from it, which is, I think it was the long here. I think it was this long, yeah, long right here. What if I took this at M and Q, I would get stopped out, bro. Insane. You took this trade on M and Q, you would have got stopped out. You would have got whipped. And edge at its finest. Insane. So I think this is the high I was talking about. Yeah. Insane, bro. Like it's really the difference, bro. At NQ and M and Q here you would get literally stopped out as soon as you enter. As soon as you enter. Unless at this point of time, let's say you haven't put your stop loss yet, you probably wouldn't put it usually there. But me, I would, my stop loss would already be there. Because on NQ that wasn't a stop rate at all. If we look at NQ, yeah, wasn't a stop rate. If you look at this again, the 5 minutes, I was like, okay, if this would inverse, I would trigger this. And I was like, there's missing candles over here, that's why I switched to M and Q. And we're about to bang. We're about to bang, guys. 2 for 2 on forward test today, but it would be great if it would be after live trades. But it is what it is, boys. It is what it is. Only if the 5 minute inverse over here, I wouldn't pull the trigger. I was thinking about the 3 minutes and pulling the trigger, but I was like, no, I would wait for the 5 minute because the 3 minute could inverse, 5 minute would reject. And if you went here, I mean, it just depends on how tight your stop is. You wouldn't get stopped out, but you technically would have a better entry if you waited for this. And yeah, this trade right here, if this plays out, is a 4.2 RR. Really unfortunate. If I was able to spot this, it would be really nice. But I mean, I was able to spot it. Just the entry confirmation wasn't presented. Again, you can see this. You can see me here waiting for the 5 minute inverse. The 5 minute inverse fails to inverse, then it goes lower, and the slam itself to the upside. I would say this is a short TP at this point because NQ is leading. Insane, insane, bros, insane. How I wish I would have entered on that one. If this just didn't inverse on time, I mean inverse, and then let's say this 1 minute didn't inverse this 1 minute, or let's say yes it did inverse, but there was a 2 minute. But bro, the 2 minute at that time, there wasn't even an open 2 minute. See here, we don't have any 2 minute at this leg, nor a 3 minute, only a 1 minute. Like the 1 minute gap is basically here to here. Say, oh bro, it hit the equilibrium, bro. I don't trade off of that. It's great if that's the case. Like the equilibrium of this respected, not the OTE of the leg went higher, probably an A plus setup for most of y'all. But for me, it was A plus setup. But if it would have had the 5 minute inverse, well, I would literally enter off of that candle. I would literally enter off of that and take the trade, but it's not what happened. So yeah, I'm gonna be updating y'all to the outcome of this trade, and it's pretty much it, guys. Let's see if we're gonna have decent price action on New York AM. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a trade at. If that's the case, because all of these LRs has to be taken out. It just has to be taken out. Like here, like all of these LRs, bro, it should get taken out. 10 until hourly? No, that's not even until hourly, bro. Until hourly is way down here. It was like my limit order before I stopped. Anyways, yeah, this was my trade last night. No, my trade last night. If you watch the video, I traded this long. It was like a 30-second version, I think, something around here, like maybe like around here. Then I put my stop loss here. Then I actually went for a limit order. They didn't necessarily faded it, but it was technically a fade because I could have market ordered, but I didn't. I went for a limit order just for a better fill. And what a bang! This trade right here. And second trade, actual trade was like a 30-second version. I think the entry was around here. Stop loss on this kind of low.